Okay, so standing tall with feet apart, tuck your tail into neutral, roll your shoulders up, back and down. Let's breathe in to lift and out to roll. Breathe in to lift and out to roll. One more time. And then let's go hands on shoulders, pushing forward. Back, draw the shoulder blades together, round and down. So make sure this is slow, circle with the elbow, but squeeze the shoulder blades together. And one more time. And relax, and then just release the spine. And then grip the pelvis, please. Soften down the knees and start to move through pelvic tilt. So drawing the tailbone towards the backbone. Morning, Alison. Softening down the tailbone. Morning. Releasing the hip flexors at the front. 2 more. And last one, settling in neutral, pulling up through the thighs and just swaying the weight forwards and backwards through toes and heels. Thumb on top. As you're doing that, drawing in on the belly button. And then can we think about rising up onto the toes, maybe taking the arms higher. And then can we think about drawing up on the pelvic floor as we draw the body up. Breathing out to lift. And breathing in to lower. And release. Rotate the spine there. And then standing, feet under hip sockets, neutral pelvis. Palms up, take a breath in. Breathe out, rotate, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the chest at the front. So as the shoulder blades come together, watch that you're not leaning into the lower back. Can we squeeze and hold? Extend the arms. Come on down. Bring them in. So just breathing naturally as we do this. One more. And then come on down. Give everything a shake. Let's come down to balance. Stand on the left leg, right leg in front, we lift. Flex and point the foot. And circle the ankle around slowly. Can you bring in the wrists there? Go the other way. And relax. Change forward and lift. Flex and point. Rotate. And the other way. And relax. Give them a shake and release there. Good. Standing with the feet slightly wider now. Shoulder width. Tail tucked, thumbs in the breastbone, upper rotation, breathe in, breathe out, rotate to the right front corner. So rotating through the upper back, the thoracic spine, push your hips forwards. And so the head stays in line with the spine, the nose stays in line with the fingertips. push the arms forward after this next one and into bow and arrow. So hand to hip, head turning. Finish with one to the left and relax. Hands behind the back, hip hinge, soften down the knees, neutral spine. So working at your own pace here, because some of you be going lower than others. Protecting the back by squeezing the glutes, engaging those lower abdominals. Shape of your spine isn't changing. So our last one. Head stays in line with the spine, chest is open, shoulders are back. Let's let the arms hang into squat. Float the arms, come through the thighs, bring the pelvis into neutral. Breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. More. After this next one, let's add a heel raise. So the weight is going to transfer forward into the toes. We are going to make sure the ankles are stable as we lengthen. Drop the heels softly and then sit back. So breathing in on the way down and breathing out on the way up, keeping it moving slowly. Last one. And come up when you're ready and just release any way you like there. Can you pick up your band? Fold it in half. Pop the heels together, turn the feet out if you can. Tighten up the glutes. Float the arms up, hands fairly close together, lift out of the waist. Coming up and across. Let the hips go if there is no back pain. So really tighten up the glutes on this one. Use those to support your lower back as you move. Breathing in to bend. Breathing out to come back up. Finishing with one to the left. Bringing the arms down, coming into a wide side lunge. Step across, rotate. Come on back, inhale. Exhale, rotate. Couple more, finishing left. Coming to center, releasing the shoulders. Feet in narrow parallel, toes forward, toe slide, knee lift, and balance. Stabilize your pelvis. Tighten up the glute on the standing leg. Engage the abs. Pulling up through the quad on the standing leg. Add rotation as and when you are ready. Keep it moving slowly. You can do 2 or 3 more. Gonna make sure we finish with one on the left. And then relax. Just shake everything out. Get rid of your band when you've finished. And then we'll have a look at our roll down. So feet under hip sockets once again. Coming up first into a small extension if you can. And then coming down to neutral. And then into flexion. Not the chin round the shoulders, just rolling to the bottom rib. Breathe in. Breathe out, uncurl. Breathing in, extending if it feels good. Breathing out, coming down. Nod round and roll. Come down to the back of your waist. Tail is tucked, knees are soft. Hands are just below the kneecaps. We'll give them a sway. Head is relaxed. Draw the belly button up. Squeeze the glutes. Uncurl. Inhaling, extending if you can. Exhaling, nodding, rounding and rolling. Coming either shin or ankle height with your hands if your back is ready to go there. And just swaying the arms slowly. Scooping the pelvis. And uncurling. Good. Inhaling to extension. Exhaling. Rolling into flexion. If you're ready to get some weight into your hands and wrists, you can do. Just bring the feet close to the hands, bend the knees, drop the head and look through the legs. You can walk forward into downward dog. Good. You can come forward into plank if you're ready for that. On your hands, toes or knees, and then you can add your press up. If your back needs more roll downs, give it more roll downs. We are still warming up. So we want to be working through anything that's stiff or tight. And that might be just giving more attention to your spine. So let's make sure we've got a nice, steady breathing pattern. Omitting those press-ups if there is a shoulder issue. Omitting the plank if there is a back issue. Last round. So guys, as and when you're ready, we are coming to the floor, please. Oh, I've left my mat in the car. So I'm going to have a pretend mat, but can you put your mat down, please? Bring in all your bits and bobs. So we want block, band, ball and hog, weights if you've got them. Coming onto all fours when you're ready, please. Nice square position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Starting from the pelvis, pelvic tilt, round and roll into cat stretch, include the shoulders and the neck. And then again moving from the pelvis, rolling through the spine, breathing in. Let's have a couple more of these. And then settle where your spine is in neutral. Let's have Superman. Let's go right arm forward, left leg back. Let's have 4 on the right, 4 on the left. So we're thinking about stabilizing the spine, stabilizing the shoulders and the pelvis. So as you change to the opposite side when you've done 4, really nice smooth transition. Stay engaged through your core. As your arm floats, have your thumb on top. So you've got the correct scapular placement. And let's change again. Keep moving slowly. So 4 on one side, 4 on the other in your own time, guys. Lengthening to the walls before we add height. So reaching, lengthening and lifting. Starting to think about bringing this to an end. You need to finish with 4 on your left arm so that you are balanced. So keep moving till you finish your last set of 4. And then you can cat stretch, you can shell stretch, or you can go to child's pose, hands to ankles, and just relax there and take some breaths. So pushing the bum towards the feet if you can. And then bringing your hands to the side of your knees, supporting your body weight, uncurling your spine. Coming down onto your bottom. And then just coming forward into slump stretch with the feet wide and just relaxing and releasing into the lower back there. Curling your spine when you are ready, bringing your feet hip distance apart, taking your ball behind you for half roll back, line it up with your tail, then move it away, hold to the legs, have a couple of pelvic tilts and find where your point is, where you're stretching your back but working your abs, not putting any pressure on the spine. If you're happy with that, we breathe in to lengthen. We breathe out to roll, we rotate into bow and arrow. So a long, slow stretch to start, and then we'll go more into strength work. Guys, as and when you're ready, can you add a dumbbell to this? So same pattern at first, scoop, roll and rotate. And then if everything feels okay with the dumbbell, you can do maximum of 4 rotations. Depending on how that's feeling, ball might need to be nearer or further away. Might have it exactly where you need it. I'm going to do 2 more sets. Working into those abs. And then take your feet wide and relax over the legs. Take some breaths. Uncurl your spine. Come on down onto your back. Get some head support if you want it. Put your weights either side. Hug your knees in, imprint your spine, and draw a circle with your pelvis into your lower back, and go the other way. Holding in the center. Let's have single leg stretch, pulling on one leg, extending the other leg. Keeping the leg close to the body as you pull on the knee. Lowering the straight leg closer to the floor if it feels okay through back and pelvis. Option to lift the upper body and add flexion into the upper abdominals there. And option to rotate. Option to let go of the legs, take the fingers to the temples. Eight, 7, 6, spine should be fully imprinted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in and down. Can we have a full body stretch? Slide your legs away. Take your arms over your head and just take some breaths there. Any shoulder issues, arms are wider. We want them to be heavy on the floor. Bring your arms over. Bend your knees, place your feet flat. Can you put your feet and knees together, spine in neutral, arms out, palms facing the ceiling. We are going to hip roll slowly right and left. We're going to keep the ankles and knees together so they don't slide past each other. I'm going to turn the head in the opposite direction. Breathing in to drop and out to lift. Breathing in to drop and out to lift. Once your knees have been to the left side, come on back to center. Take your feet apart, hip width. Please pick up your weights. Maybe put something under your head for chest flies. So you've got a little bit of lift through the head and neck. Push the weights up, soften the elbows, And your start position is either feet on the floor or legs in tabletop. So when you're ready, we are breathing in to open the chest and out to come back up. Breathing in to open the chest and out to come back up. Spine stays in imprint, tailbone shouldn't be lifted, knees are over hips. You can add a toe tap to the floor with a bent knee, or you can take a single leg stretch away if that's not pulling on your lower back. Breathing in to open and out to close. Good. Really draw down on those deep abdominals. You can do double leg stretch if there is no back issue. That single leg stretch should still be loading those abs. Next one is your last one. And then we relax, everything comes in and down. We get rid of the weights, arms out, palms up, feet shoulder width apart, and let's have open knee, hip roll, slowly right and left. So you can turn the head if you wish. Your focus is on internal and external rotation of that hip. Coming back to center, let's have a look at our corkscrew, so our rotation. You want your ball or your hog between your knees or your feet. So easier option is tabletop with hands on rib cage, imprinted spine, as we go 45 degrees to the right and 45 degrees to the left. Harder option, toes to the ceiling, longer levers, knees soft. So pelvis lifting as you rotate, spine imprinting as you come back to center. Breathing in to drop and out to lift. Fingertips to ceiling if all is well. Pin the shoulders down, please. You can take the arms the opposite way to counterbalance. Breathing in to drop and out to lift. Keeping that moving slowly. So making sure not to over rotate. This is about strength, not flexibility. So maximum of 1 or 2 ribs lifting. Finish to the left with the legs. And then come on back to center. Everything comes in and down. Let's have a starfish stretch, 4 corners of the room. Open the palms and stretch the fingers. Push the heels away, pull the toes back. And just breathe into that stretch, please. Bringing the arms over. Drawing the legs in one at a time. Let's put the right ankle on the left knee, open the hip on the right, take the arms back out and roll gently right and left. So we want to lift most of the rib cage on this one, but keep the shoulders down. So creating a lever around the hips. You'll feel this in the front of the hip, the inner thigh, the lower back, into the glute, depending on which way you're rolling. Finishing on this side with toe to the left. And then once you come back to center, working the other way. So foot on the knee, hip open. Going knee to the floor on the left, head to the right. Coming through center and going the other way. Finishing to the right, coming back to the center, rolling onto the side of your body, popping the smooth side of your hog under your head, working in the side lying position. Have your chi bowl nearby because we will come to it shortly. So, hog, logo to the front, head fairly near the front. Straighten the arms, the legs and the spine, taking a breath in as you breathe out, lifting the top arm and leg. Try to relax the ankle to avoid cramp. Ankle bone is on top. If that feels okay, double leg raise, perhaps lift your head and neck, load the waist and come on down. Breathing out to lift and in to lower, avoiding rolling back on the hips, so keep the hips stacked. That will limit how high you can lift, but it will target your waist. Holding this last one up, and then scissoring the legs forwards and backwards, keeping the pelvis still. That might mean holding it or putting the hand on the floor. If you're happy balancing, think about increasing the range of movement from the hip, not the knee. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everything comes in and down. Draw the legs in. Top leg over bottom leg and let it stretch into the outer thigh and the glute, possibly going round there into your low back. Hand to ankle, heel to bottom. Extend the bottom leg away. Stack the hips, knees together if you can. Breathe in and breathe out. And release. Feet together, draw the knees in 45 degrees. Stack the hips, lift that lower rib away from the mat. Into clam. So either clam with the lower leg resting on the floor. Clam with the toes lifted and the bottom leg is in a fixed position. It's not moving at all. So just watch that your feet don't start to slowly migrate back down to your mat. Maybe take the hand on the hip or the buttock and check the stability of your spine and pelvis. If you're happy with all of that, you can rotate, extend the leg, flexing the foot, pushing, pointing the toe to come back and lowering down. Two more. So take your time with your last one, then drop the legs, take the top leg over the bottom leg, and if you can extend the leg and push the heel away, still with a slightly bent knee, just get a deeper stretch than you had before. Take a couple of breaths there and give it a chance to release. and then come on back to center with your knees bent at 45 degrees. Chi ball between the knees and we squeeze. Stack the hips and lift the rib. Palms together, open door. Eyes following hand. So you are just breathing slowly and steadily as you do that. It's a long, slow movement. The slower the better. You might want to open out and stay out, but can you think about what's happening through the lower half of your body? Squeeze the ball, stack the hips, pull up on the pelvic floor, and make sure your bottom rib is still lifted away from the mat. That's your last one. So when you're ready, roll over or go down the other end of your mat. Take your ball with you for that last exercise. So side leg series, up on the hip there. Rib away from mat, shoulders stacked. So when you're ready, breathing out on the way up and in on the way down. Option to raise two legs, option to lift your head and neck. Those hips stacked. Keep drawing in through the abdominals. Shouldn't be feeling any of this in your back. If you are, you've possibly chosen an option that's too hard. Lift and hold. Head can be up or down. Start to scissor. Start small first because your hip might not be the same on this side. Then make sure your knees are straight and you're moving from your hip. Make sure your pelvis is still. Nice steady breathing pattern there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down, everything in, drop top leg over bottom leg, keep it bent. Stretching into the buttock and lower back. Hand on ankle, heel to bum. Bottom leg lengthens away. Shoulders are stacked. Knees parallel. Breathing in and out. And release. Feet together. Draw the knees into 45 degrees. Feet should be level with the bum. Toes are up or down. We are rotating into clam. So keeping your hips stacked. When you're ready, adding the leg extension. Making sure you flex your foot as you extend and point your toe as it comes back. Making sure your bottom leg hasn't started to drop towards the floor. So your top leg is starting from a position of internal rotation. It's rotating externally, it's extending away for strength, and then it's coming back. This is our last one. Take your time with it. When you finish, come all the way down. Take your top leg over your bottom leg and extend it with a flexed foot if you can. Soft knee. And then coming back for our upper body rotation, open door, ball between the knees, stack the hips, lift the rib cage away, pull the tummy in, palms together. When you're ready, open your chest, turn your head, eyes follow hand, holding the stretch there, breathing in, breathing out to close. So just staying at your own pace as you do that, maybe holding it longer if that feels like what you need. All the time squeezing on the ball and lifting the bottom rib away from the mat. Last one. And relax. Brill. Okay. Get rid of your ball. Come over onto all fours. And let's just release the back here with a shell stretch. Pushing bum towards feet. Take some breaths. And then hands to the side of the knees, support the body weight, uncurl the spine. So we're going to work our tricep here. So let's bring in our dumbbells. You can do this with your band if you prefer. So nice flat back, tummy pulled in. Start position is hand on the hip, opposite arm to leg, 4 on the right and 4 on the left. Maintaining the stability of the spine. Good. Keeping the head in line with the spine. Breathing out to push back. Breathing in to release. Changing on number 4. Making sure you are only moving from the elbows unless it's the changeover. I want you to think about lengthening back, straightening the arm and leg, and then lifting. So straighten before the lift, and then squeeze into the glute and the tricep. So again, we're working into the posterior chain. So we need the arm and the leg ideally to come higher than the back to target the muscles around the back of us. But if that gives you any kind of shoulder, hip or back pain, then you just want to be horizontal. Keep that moving slowly. 4 right, 4 left. And we started the sequence with a tricep press on the right. So we're going to finish it with a set of 4 on the left tricep. So take your time. Do as many as you need to do to get to 4 on your left arm. And then get rid of your weights, and you can shell stretch, cat stretch, child's pose, whatever feels good. You might want to release your wrists, you might want to release your shoulders. So just taking some breaths there to release the back. And then uncurling the spine slowly. And then bringing in your hog for plank. So low go to the side. Plank on your hands or your elbows, whatever feels better for you. So coming into plank, if your back's not great, start with the hips lifted and then just lower yourself slowly into your plank. So back is flat, holding the posture, breathing into it, squeezing the glutes, pulling the tummy in. You might want to be on your knees, you might want to be on your elbows. Any of those are fine. Holding for a little bit longer if we can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Pull back and stretch. Hands in the middle of the hug, pulling back, releasing the shoulders. Coming forward when you're ready. If you're able to turn your hug around the other way now so it rocks right and left, please do. If you think that's going to be too intense, then that's fine, don't do it. Again, on your hands or your elbows, extend to plank, perhaps start with the hips high, drop into that nice straight line, weight in the arms, weight in the feet. And then if you want to rock your hug right and left, you can do that. If your hug is the other way round, it's a bit difficult to rock, but you can rock through the feet, so the weight transfers forward and back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Hands in the middle of the hug. Let your head drop between your arms if you can. Push your bum towards the feet. Hold. Breathe slowly. Walk your hands to the right corner. Come off the hug. Creep them forward and then pull the hips back. Come through center, reach to your left corner and pull back. Breathe into the stretch. Come through center, support your body weight, uncurl your spine, and then come on back down onto your bottom and onto your back. So get something under your head if you want it, and bring the knees in and just release into the lower back after that plank. And then let's finish with some pelvic stability. So can you take your chi ball under your sacrum? You don't want anything under your head for this because it's a little bit stressful on the neck. So tailbone right in the middle. Put your fingertips on the floor. Lift your legs to tabletop. You are still in neutral spine. Either toe tap to the mat or single leg stretch away, low or high. Option to take one or both hands off the floor. Drive the shoulder blades into the mat And then slowly scissor the arms, if that feels okay. Breathing out to stretch. Breathing in to come back. Keep it moving very slowly. Your focus is pelvic stability. See how those hips are feeling from right to left. Good. Shape of the spine should not be changing. Rib cage should not be winging. Good. Let's have 4 more. Nice and slow and controlled. And then when you finish, bring your feet softly to the floor, and then you can stretch across the ball. So either starfish or full body stretch, whatever feels good to you there. Bring your arms over and draw your legs in one at a time. Lift your bottom up and take your chi ball away. Good. Get something back under your head if you want it. And then just hip roll for me right and left with your feet apart or together. And we'll finish with a hamstring stretch. So picking up the band, taking it around the sole of the right foot, pulling the elbows down to the floor, relaxing the shoulders and the neck, extending the bottom leg away if that feels good, drawing the leg closer, either flexing and holding the foot or flexing and pointing the foot, and then keeping the tailbone on the floor as you sway or circle the leg. Perhaps you want to take the band just into one hand to increase your range of movement. Perhaps you want to lift the bottom as you cross the midline. And if you found a particularly tight spot, you are just going to hang about there. Coming back to centre in your own time, can you change legs for me, please? And then extending the bottom leg, doesn't have to fully straighten, just needs to create a little bit of resistance. Pulling on that band, pushing with the heel. Softening the knee and swaying the leg. Starting small and in 2 hands, circling the leg if you prefer, and then switching to 1 hand, so we increase the range of movement there for that sway or that circle, allowing your bum to lift if that feels good. Next one is your last one. Please come slowly back to centre. Take your foot out of that band. Come onto your side and over onto all fours. And then set yourself up again for cat stretch. So rolling through the spine, through flexion and extension. And then tucking the toes under and coming into downward dog if you can, stretching the shoulders and the hamstrings. Walking your hands in slowly, making sure your knees are bent. Uncurling your spine with the head coming up last. And then standing tall, please. Take the arms up, inhale. Exhale, come over to the right corner of the room. Inhale up and exhale to the left corner. Come on up. Drop the arms. And then just release the shoulders and see how that feels. And release the spine and see how that feels. Should be nice and loose. Give yourselves a clap. Thank you very much indeed. Come on in, folks.